Hi, this is Mitch Stephen, and I am here to announce the new Art of Creative Real Estate Investing course. And what I wanted to do was take the course that I'd had for the last 5 years and bring it into 2020 and bring it up to date. One of the problems with producing courses is that they can get stale or they can get outdated, sometimes very quickly, and sometimes it takes a little while. Now, the course that I had out since 2015 was a very strong course, and it did a lot of good for a lot of people, but it started to get passe and started to change. So when I invented the new course, and by the way, I spent 5 months and $50,000 of my money to come into 2020 with all the new ideas and trends, but more importantly, to make the course evergreen so that this would never happen to me and us again. In the new course, I have it set up by modules, i.e. topics. And then in every topic, there's every blog, every app, every piece of paperwork you need, all the references, all the podcasts that deal in that subject matter, and even lots and lots of snippets carved out from the recorded archives of the Tuesday night group coaching call. So I had someone go through that 500 hours of calls, and of course we didn't get through all of it because it's monumental. So I had them go into that 500 hours of archived recorded Q&A and carve out specific conversations that had to do with specific topics. And then I shortcutted the process of you trying to review through all that stuff, and I started separating out conversations by topics. So that's also included in each module and anything else that might be needed. And most importantly, like I said, it's evergreen. So if you purchased the original course a long time ago, I'd like to offer you an upgrade for just $197. And that'll bring everything and all this content up to date for you, and you'll be in the evergreen program for as long as we're doing this. If you bought in the last year, I'd like to give it to you for free because I feel like you deserve it, and it's just the right thing to do. So go to support@1000houses.com. Let us know if you want to do the $197 upgrade, which will be evergreen from now on. And if you bought the course relatively not so long ago, you think within a year, then email us at support@1000houses.com, and we'll check the records. And if you've purchased that course within the last year, we're going to give you the upgrade for free. All right. So what I want to do now is show you how the course is set up and why it's such a neat tool to have in your tool belt. Okay, so you go to ownerfinancepro.com/members and enter your email address and your login information, and it'll get you to this screen right here. And then we're going to click on New 2020, the Art of Creative Real Estate Investing, right here to open up the course. And here at the very beginning, you have a slight description and a hello letter. This course is all online. You won't be getting any emails. It's enough to launch a career. I'm not really holding anything back that I can think of. However, remember, this course is evergreen. So if you see a topic that we haven't covered, or if there are elements of a topic that I didn't get deep enough into, just email your suggestions to support@1000houses.com. And that's the great thing about having an evergreen course. I can add to or subtract anytime I want to. All right, so we'll go down a little further. And here you have module 1, which is an introduction, me talking to you about the course. It explains how to navigate the course. And then module number 2 is how to get started with your business names / domains, email addresses, and phone numbers. Very important that you set up your business right from the beginning, or you're going to be backtracking all the time, losing important, what we call goodwill that's out there because you've changed your phone numbers, or you changed your website, or you changed your email addresses because you didn't get it right in the beginning. It'll save you a fortune to study this module up front and get prepared. That's module number 2. Module number 3 talks about setting up your business entities. I have a attorney that's been in the business for 2.5 decades, and he will help you get set up whatever you want to get set up. He's also a professional and specializes in self-directed, tax-deferred or tax-free retirement plans like IRAs, Roth IRAs, solo 401ks, health savings plans, educational savings plans. A great asset to have. This attorney is great. And he's the one I use, and he's the attorney behind taxfreefuture.com. Module 4 is about setting up and promoting your websites. Everything you need, and more importantly, what you don't need, because there are some interesting takes on websites and what you're really using them for, and then how to minimize your expenses and still be able to get the credibility that you need. So the rubber starts to meet the road right here in module number 5. Let's take a look at how these modules are set up. Here's module number 5, assessing value. It's 27 minutes long. And here I discuss the importance of being able to assess values on houses or properties that you're considering purchasing, and how to find the comps, how to find the traditional values, and how to look at the traditional values versus the owner finance value, and how you would arrive at an owner finance value. I have a very simple formula that you can memorize easily, and how to use MLS and brokers, and what not to use, and what to take as a highly valuable piece of data, and what you can look at but don't give it too much weight. Things like Zillow, not really good for the valuation, you know, but it is interesting to see what Zillow has to say. Another thing is like, you know, the tax assessment for a property. Yeah, it's an interesting piece of information to look at, but that doesn't mean that that's the real value of the property. So I'll kind of categorize and prioritize the data that you need to pay the most attention to and the data you need to pay the least attention to. And then again, the formula on how to establish the owner finance value, or the OFV, given the rents in the area. All right. So when you go here, you get to see finding comps. There's a video on finding comps to assess value. There's videos, and these are videos of me talking to you. You're one-on-one on person, giving you my take and my angle of what I do, why I do it, how I arrived at the conclusions to do it the way that I do it. Because some of the things that I do aren't all that obvious, but they become obvious as you trip through these strategies and learn what works and what doesn't work. And then here's a video on the formula. And then below all the videos, if you want to see what a small piece of this looks like, I mean, I'll play it right here. You just have these little videos. They're very personal. So given the fact that assessing value is so important, how do we actually go out and do this? Like, how do we physically go out and get a number? Well, it's all going to... Okay, so you see, that's kind of the flavor of it. Then underneath here, underneath the videos, you can download the transcripts right here. Okay, this is where you download the transcripts. So if you want this in writing, there's the transcripts. You can also, here's the audio versions. Okay, here's the audio files. If you want to download this to a thumb drive so you can listen while you're on your 3-hour trip to visit your grandmother, then here you can download these files right here. Or if you just want to listen in the background, you can play these audios. Now below this, you can go here to this page, and it has all the audio downlinks by module. So if you just want to go someplace where all of the audios are there, and you can read the topics and then what the audio downloads are, and the links are right there. So it's a whole page of every audio download link in this course. So done by module. Okay. And then if you want to just see the formula for owner finance value, it's right here. You can get to the 200 plus ways to find bargain properties, and a chapter 17 that I mentioned in this module. I tell you to go to chapter 17 if you want to know how to get an agent to let you have access to their MLS, and how to get an agent to give you their PIN number. If they're going to give it to you, this should work. It's right here. And then here's some apps you put on your iPhone. I have a mortgage calculator that I use that's very simple. It's not as easy to find the right mortgage calculator as you might think. So I've made it easy. And here's the Android version if you have an Android phone. Then here's a link to Rental Meter, and this is all to help you establish what the rents are in the area, so we can back into the rents to establish an owner finance value price. Here's an owner finance value spreadsheet to help keep track of your data. And here's a resources page that you can click on to check out all the resources that are available, okay? And that's different things like apps and softwares and companies and you name it. If it's attorneys, management companies, if I have an interesting resource, it's in this resources page here. So that's what a module looks like. And let's just go back up here. So to continue to module 6, you would just click right here, and now you're on to the next module. This module 6 is about assessing repairs. It's about 30 minutes long. And again, it has the videos of me talking to you about different aspects of dealing with contractors and assessing repairs. And then there's, again, the transcripts, and here's the audios. If you want to just listen, you can also still, again, go to the audios links page and look at all the audios. Here's the checklist I was talking about, a copy of it. Here's a free rehab calculator that I talked about in this section. So when I'm talking about these different things, I'm also supplying them to you down here underneath the videos. Using credit cards for real estate financing, it's a perfect thing to use 0% credit cards to do your rehabs. It cuts your expenses, enables you to ask for less money when you go to a private lender for a house because you're going to cover the repairs yourself. So you're asking for less money and pledging the same collateral. So the lender's position is bigger or better. Here's a podcast on how you can get a bunch of 0% credit cards, a company that specializes in helping you that. And then here's a pre-qualification to get rolling. So again, it's always the same setup in each module. They just contain different sets of information. We can go to module 8 now, and I'd just like to go through these modules so you can see what we're covering. This is negotiating. It's 21 minutes. It's tailored for negotiating in our arena, which is trying to negotiate to purchase properties mostly. That's where most of the negotiating is. I don't really negotiate that much when I sell a property because my price is not negotiable. You either want it or you don't. If you don't want it, move along. I'll go to the next person. But I do strongly suggest that you sharpen up your negotiating skills for when you're trying to buy houses, because the difference between being a bad negotiator and being a great negotiator can be tens of thousands of dollars a year. So it's worth time to spend getting some hints and tips and some golden nuggets on negotiating in this particular arena. So we'll go down here, and again, there's the transcripts. Here's the audio and video download links. Got all the materials and I don't know, the support for the things that I mentioned in these videos above. All right, we'll go to the next module so we can see what it is. Module number 9 is making offers. It's 28 minutes long. I'm talking to you about all the different ways to structure a winning offer. It's not just, offering cash to buy the house is just one offer. You may not even be in a position to offer cash. So there's all these different ways to structure winning deals, and only one of them is with cash. There's a lot of different offers. So check them out. There's at least 4 very pertinent offers. And if we do this right, you can get into a deal with 0 money. I'll give you a lot of case examples in here. Here's the 4 the 4 offers. There's your cash offer right here, the first one. I have a video on that. Then the big down and seller finance, the balance, and you got to subordinate that balance into the second position so that we can borrow that big down payment in the first position. We talk about that. Here's a small down payment with seller financing. And then there's, give the seller his price, market price, or even a little over market price, but they gotta give you your terms. If you're going to give them everything they ask for in price, then you've got to get everything you ask for in terms, and you can still present a winning offer for both parties. Here's a 0% interest rate offer and additional hints and tips on negotiating. There are some rules to negotiating that fit no matter what you're negotiating on. If you're trying to buy a car or sell a car or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's some basic general rules that you may not be aware of, and it would behoove you to brush up on them and see if there's anything new you don't know. Again, here's all the audios, and then here's the audio, the page where you can find all the audios right here under audio and video download links. Here's some Q&A calls that relate to this topic. Again, the formula and how you explain it to the person across the table from you. And then we talk about some personal mentoring with me if you want to, or the group coaching calls, because if you like this kind of advice or this knowledge pool, there's a whole bunch of it that happens all the time, and you can get some FaceTime with me and my partner, Mike Powell, and it's very affordable. And the main thing is that when you hire a mentor or a coach, if they're the right person for you and the right strategies, then you should be able to recoup that money in a relatively short period of time. I don't do a lot of selling in here, but I am going to let it be known that I am available for closer mentoring or relationships for a fee, of course, but very reasonable. So we'll go to module number 10. Writing contracts. This is a big topic. It's 4 hours. And here I'll give you samples of my contracts and stuff, because I'm in Texas though, and my contracts wouldn't work for every state, but I do give some generic contracts, or you can use my contracts to understand the theory. You can go to your state and get your state's promulgated forms. And I'm going to bet that the blanks on those forms are not so different than the blanks on the Texas promulgated forms. But you get the theory. And a lot of things that I'm putting in these contracts, no matter what contract you use, you're going to need to implement some of these special provisions and some of these golden little paragraphs that really protect you or give you advantage or give you time or give you protection. So make sure you pay attention to this course. It's a hefty module right here in this, dealing with this topic. All right, again, I won't belabor this too much, but you have all your audio downloads, and then you got the supporting documents and stuff down here. So it's very thorough. Go to module number 11. How to find deals. It's 24 minutes. Don't be fooled though. This 24 minutes is life-changing. It doesn't take long to get to where the fish are big and plentiful. You just have to know what you're doing, and you need to know some minutia. It's all in the minutia. And I wrote, the book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, 200 plus ways to find bargain properties. By the way, all my books are available to you here in digital format. So you get everything I've got, just short of the Tuesday night group coaching call and just short of the one-on-one mentoring. So if I've got it in writing or I can digitally download it, it's in here. Even the Private Money Changes Everything course is in here, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we go to module number 12. This is finding funding. Again, I just mentioned private money changes everything. That whole course is in here. That was a $1,000 value in some places if you found it on special. If it wasn't on special, it was $19.99. So up to a $2,000 value. I've put in here for you. And this module is where I discussed a variety of funding sources like traditional or partners or hard money lenders. And then I like to talk to you about the advantages and how to raise private money. You've got to think outside the box a little bit. One of the things I do during this Private Money Changes Everything course is I fix your mindset for you. There's a lot of objections and a lot of personal reasons why people think that they can't go out and raise private money. And I'm fixing to take all those excuses away from you. That ability to raise private money, that clearing of your mind and getting your mind right, and you convincing yourself that you can do it because of what I'm going to tell you in here, is worth $1 million if it's worth a penny. Because once you find one, just one private lender, and that door has been open for you, it's kind of like Roger Bannister in the 4-minute mile. I mean, no one could break the 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister did it. And then everybody started breaking it. Because what happened? It became possible in everybody's mind. Before Roger Bannister did it, it was impossible. As soon as Roger Bannister did under 4 minutes, now that it's possible, everyone's belief system changed, and they were able to break that boundary or barrier more and more and more often. So this module is very important. Make a note of it. Module 11, finding funding. It can change your whole world. The reason why I can buy 100 houses a year, big reason for that is because I don't have any problem funding them. I just pick up the phone. You know, I have $24 million in private money right now at the moment of this recording out on the street, you know, that I owe payments on. And I'll also talk to you about why I'm not worried about making those payments. You know, even in tumultuous times, recession or not, pandemic or not, whatever, I'm not worried. And you'll learn why. Okay, we have module 12 right here. Building a team. Let's say you've already got it going on, man. You're doing deals. You're not worried about finding houses. You're not worried about selling houses. Now you're just worried about being so exhausted that you can't have a good time after the work day's done because you're working your butt in the ground. So you need to get some systems to take the load off of you. And I think we've all been there. Every single person I know has been a one-man show at one point in time in this industry. Usually, you know, certainly when they started out. And that's cool for a little while, but it'll wear you out and it'll ruin this business for you, and it'll ruin you if you don't figure out how to get people to help you and how to set up systems and how to set up some support so that you're not working yourself to death, and so that you're able to enjoy the income that you have invented and continue to produce. All right. You know, I have not seen the last 350, 400 houses I bought. I've lost count, but I know it was over 350 houses. I haven't seen them, haven't walked in them, hadn't seen a picture of them. You know, I see them on a spreadsheet every now and then. I know what I paid for it. I know where it is because the address is there, but I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen the last 350, 400 people that bought my houses. And this has freed me up immensely to do things like this. Help other people become successful. You know, 6 years ago, I couldn't have found the time to help you because I didn't have any time, because I didn't have any systems. Now, my way is not the only way, but this is how I did it. And I am a simple man. I'm not very complicated. It has to be easy for me. And someone has to put it in a framework that doesn't seem too complicated to me, or they'll lose me. You know, I'll drift off somewhere pretty fast. I have severe ADD. I'm not I don't stay focused for a long period of time. And that's another reason why I had to get people in my system that were different than me, people that did have focus, could concentrate for hours on one, menial or task, and I needed those people around me. I'll explain to you how I was able to break through and make a system where I don't have to be here if I don't want to. All right, we'll go to module 14. I'm sorry, module 13. All right, I'm going to go to module 13 here. Finding buyers and selling properties. This is 94 minutes. It's the least of my worries. If you do what I'm telling you here, you're not gonna, I just don't worry about selling properties. That's, my big thing is, how do I find properties and how do I fund the properties? That's what my two biggest concerns are. I am not worried one iota about selling properties today, not with the kind of technology we have. And it's dang near free with the new technology. Like the old course, it was all about Craigslist and posting and doing all this stuff. Even before that, it was about classified ads. So classified ads went the way of the dinosaur, and then Craigslist up, and it was what we did for a while. And now it's the way of the dinosaur, and is one of the main reasons why I had to reinvent this course and bring it into 2020 and make it evergreen, is because now it's Facebook, and Facebook doesn't even charge anything, and you can build a huge community. Facebook, LiveCom, and some bandit signs. That's all. That's it. And you may not even need the bandit signs. So check it out. I do this with my partner, and this was the one of the bonuses, I believe. And Mike really helped forge this system, so I thought it was important to have him in on it, so we didn't miss anything. All right, module 14. This is just kind of a final message to y'all. Trying to wrap it all up, put it in a box, put a bow on it, and give you some good wishes and get you down the road. And maybe just a little wisdom right before we part. But that's the main thing here. Again, I talked to you about, if you want to get some real face time and be able to ask real-time questions, there's group coaching. There's the personal mentoring, which is one-on-one. I may only take 10 one-on-one people the whole year. I don't take this one-on-one stuff lightly. I am not a Millhouse. I'm going to have if someone wants to do one-on-one coaching with me, then we're going to sit down and have a pretty lengthy discussion, because if you want to do one-on-one coaching, I don't want to be your coach if I'm not the right guy for you. I won't take you just because you have the money. And I have turned down plenty of people that wanted to pay me, but I didn't feel like I was going to be able to help them recoup that money. And I didn't feel like I was the right coach for them, or I didn't feel like they were ready. If you're on this one-on-one conversation and I don't think you're ready, we'll just move down here to the group coaching and let the business and you prove that you're meant for each other. I don't want to, when I deal with one-on-one mentoring people, that's for people that already know this business is for them. They're already making money in this business. They already have a game. I'm here to help up your game. I'm not at this one-on-one personal mentoring level. I'm not here to see if this business is for you. I'm for people that already have game, and I'm going to up their game. And it gets very easy and it's very fast when I have the right people. And that's why I probably won't take more than about 10 people this year, one-on-one personal coaching. You want to learn more about these, just go to 1000houses.com, my website, and just click on the educational tabs there with group coaching and personal mentoring, and there's a lot more there. If you ever want to talk to me about either one of these things, the group coaching or the personal mentoring, just send a message to support@1000houses.com and we'll get a meeting and we'll talk about it, okay? Especially if you want the one-on-one. Because I got to make sure we're right for each other. I got to make sure your market's right for what we're trying to do. I want to make sure that the circumstances I feel good about, and that I feel like, there's a really, really, really good chance that we're meant for each other and that I can really make a difference in your life. And I will tell you no if I don't think so. And there's plenty of people that I've said no to. And what we really do when we say no again is we just move down to the group coaching. We talk once a week. Let this business prove itself to you. Let you prove yourself to the business. And who knows, the goal is maybe you can go to the one-on-one mentoring for money you make for just being on this coaching call. Now the group coaching calls, they're every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time as of right now. I reserve the right to change that, but it's been that way for years. They last between an hour and a half and 2 hours. But my commitment on the call is to answer everyone's question, no matter how long it takes. Now, some of the calls have gone on for 2.5, 3 hours, and I'll start begging for mercy around 2 hours plus. But if it's important, I'm going to stay on the call, no problem. But if it's not important, maybe you can save it for next week because the call's already gone 2 hours. I rotate this call between Mike Powell, my partner, and I every other Tuesday. It's me one Tuesday, and then Mike, and then me, and then Mike. It's kind of a neat dichotomy because Mike's 33 years old, multi-millionaire, and I'm 59 years old and multi, and I can explain that to you for sure. But there's two different perspectives. I'm the old guy, been there, done that, made it, don't have to do this anymore. I do this because I have higher reasons, and I get bored when I sit still, and I really get a kick out of people firing their boss. That's what I love to hear. You know, Dale Ramsey, he talks about the primal scream when people get out of debt and they have zero debt. They do the primal scream. Well, around here, we ring the bell when someone fires their boss and no longer has to answer to someone above them, that they become their own boss and the leader of their own life. And that's when we do that. So the group coaching is every Tuesday, and there's I think it's over 500 now, 500 hours of archived Q&A, but let's just say it's only 400 hours. It's more than you're ever going to listen to. But if you ever don't want to wait 7 days to get you some coaching call atmosphere, there's more hours of archived coaching calls than you'll ever listen to. I would say this though, if you ever did listen to even half of it or 3/4 of it, you would be pretty much an expert in the creative real estate strategies out there, because we cover everything and anything, and a lot of problems. We cover a lot of problems there, and half of what a coach does for you is keep you out of problems and keep you from losing money. And by the way, you'll never be able to measure a coach by how much they kept you from losing, because there's no number to plug in. All right, then you go to 15, the bonus module. And this is all about notes. You know, how to manipulate them, how to sell partials, it's a big subject, 74 minutes. I mean, we could talk about it for years, but this is a fantastic start in understanding of all that you can do with notes. It's very intriguing. If you're financially minded and you like strategies and things to think about, this is the section, and that's why I put it as a bonus. It is a tremendous eye opener as to what you can do with the notes that you've created. It is it's an awakening for a lot of people. All right, so this is Mitch, Stephen. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Pretty much we talk just like this all the time, so what you see is what you get. I've done hundreds and hundreds and thousands of seller finance deals and everything in between. I've done subject twos, I've done wholesaling, I've done it, and we try to cover all this. That's another thing that this course does, is it's not just so focused on seller financing. We talk about some other ways that you can make some money too. And the reason why that's important is you're spending money on leads. Not all of those leads are going to fit the owner financed, selling with owner finance model. Okay, not all of those leads are going to be right for that. But it's important that you capitalize off of every lead, whether it's a wholesale deal or a fix and flip that you need to follow all the way through with and just retail it, or a subject to deal. Whatever the case is, we need to be able to make those leads pay, because those leads cost money. And every time you limit yourself to the amount of leads that you can accept as viable, then you're cutting down your chances of making money. So we teach a lot about the different strategies and how to make money on different strategies besides just seller financing or owner financing. All right, again, 1000houses.com. Go there if you want to get a free consult with me. If you want to talk about group coaching or one-on-one mentoring because you want a little higher level, then let's do it. But this course is enough to launch a career off of. I didn't hold anything back. There's no, to learn the rest of the story, you need to send some more money. That's not going to happen here. That's not going to happen here. I've given you everything I got here. The only thing I can't do is send you my ability and my intuition to interpret what's happening on your deals, because I'm hearing the conversations between you and your buyer or your seller. And I wish I could bottle that up, that intuition and all that experience, and be able to tell you. But there's some times, and the reason why people get on that group coaching call or get on that one-on-one mentoring is because there are times I'll say, hey, this is what I want you to do. You're talking about this house. You're telling me about this house. You're telling me about your seller. I want you to take a shovel, and I want you to go to the back left-hand corner, and I want you to dig a hole 4 feet wide and 4 feet deep, and then I want you to call me back. And then so you go out to the hardware store, you get your shovel, you go dig that hole, and then you call me back and you go, Mitch, how in the hell did you know that was there? And I say, because I've talked to that jerk before. I know I've talked to sellers just like that guy, and I knew what they were trying to hide, and I knew where they had it buried, and I just had a hunch, and you just got the shovel and went and confirmed it. But it's hard to put that kind of intuition into a book, right? Or into anything else. That's why the FaceTime or the one-on-one coaching call is good, because there's things you just can't substitute intuition and instinct and that information running through my personal ears or my personal eyes looking at it. There's just things I can tell you that pop up, and I don't even know how it works. It's just years and years of experience. I am not the smartest guy anywhere. I've never been the smartest guy anywhere, but know this. I've been buying and selling houses, over 2,000 houses in my hometown for over 2.5 decades. And I've had everything bad happen to me and most things good that could happen to me happen to me. So it's just experience. It's not that I'm that smart. It's just I have a lot of experience. And I know when you do certain things, I know how bad it's going to hurt. You do certain other things, I know the propensity that hurt's not going to come along. So that's what it's all about. And last but not least, remember, when you're contemplating coaching or either group coaching or one-on-one, remember, it's not the right coach or the right program. You're supposed to see a return on your investment pretty quick. You put out some money for a group coaching call. I mean, and I'll tell you right now, the group coaching call, if you listen to even 10 or 15 of those calls, 10 or 15 weeks out of the whole, let's say there's 52 weeks and we're going to have at least 44 calls, because we got the right to get sick or go on vacation too. So we're not going to get all 52 Tuesdays, but say 44 Tuesdays. Just listen to 15 of those 44 Tuesdays. I bet you'll pay for what you pay for that course before you even get to 15 calls. I mean, I know sentences that'll make you enough to pay for that year's worth of group coaching telephone calls every Tuesday. And then on the one-on-one, you're going to pay somebody. And if you don't pay someone to learn what it is you want to do, then you're going to pay the street. That in the street, when I say you're going to pay the street, I mean you're going to pay by making mistakes, by walking into traps or someone dumping off the problems that they had on you, and now they're your problems, and they weren't honest, so they were able to dump them off on you. But you're an honest man, so you're not able to dump them off on anybody else. You have to absorb it or take the loss because you're an honest man. That's what I can help you avoid. And you're either going to pay the street in mistakes, or sometimes you'll be stepping right over dollars you don't even know that are down there on the ground because you've never walked this path before. And I can tell you, look, you got to reword this just a little bit, and you're going to pick up, an extra amount of dollars every time you take 20 steps. You're going to pick up an extra couple of $1,000 every time you say this sentence, or every time you recognize this situation which you weren't figuring out. It took me 20 years to figure some of this stuff out. Why it took me so long, I don't know, but no one else knew about this stuff either, because heaven knows I'd listened to everybody in the world and they hadn't told me about it. So, I had to use my own common sense and my own repetition of watching the same bad thing happen all the time, or the same situations line up all the time, before it finally clicked how I could stop that bad situation or avoid that bad situation or profit off that particular situation more than normal. So there's a few things you catch. Believe me, I'm going to change the way you look at this stuff. I'm going to open the doors wide open. So wherever you are right now, I have something to give to you, even if you're a veteran. And I believe I can learn from veterans too. So if you're a veteran out there, one of the reasons I do these podcasts is I talk to a lot of people. And when you talk to a lot of people that are experts in their field, then you learn. And so what I'm doing is I have these podcasts and I'm talking to all these experts and I'm bringing everything I'm learning back to this cauldron so that we can sip out of it as a group, and that's what happened too. People in the group start bringing stuff to put in this cauldron, and we get relatively smart quick in these rooms where there's a lot of experts showing up. All right, this is Mitch Stephen. We're out.